And with that, Boom, I'd like to say hello and welcome to everybody to the 10100 conversation held on a Tuesday today, and hopefully this will be a working meeting. So, 10100, 10 businesses, 100 people, blah, blah, blah. We love you all. Hello, Sarah and Lauren, and whoever else may be dropping in soon. Quick context, Lauren and I were having a conversation about the 10100 on Sunday, and Lauren came up with what I feel are definitely some good ideas, and with regards to helping to organize childcare workers in the area. And so now we're having that exploratory meeting to figure out what we can do, what we can't, and then from there we're going to hopefully build upon something that we can, what I've euphemistically entitled the 10100 Childcare Workers United. So, hello and welcome everybody.
Hi.
Lauren, do you want to kind of give a brief overview of the idea that you had? Can I throw you on the spot, or do you want me to talk for a minute while you
Oh,
formulate some
sure. I
thoughts?
could just give a little background to the conversation we had with Sarah. So we've tossed around a couple ideas now, different sorts of business. Whether we talked about gardening. We talked about what Laura initially talked about the long-term care ideas that we could have in the future. There's been some retail talk, woman interested in a restaurant. Anyways, all of these things are going to sort of take a while, I think, to manifest, right? Like, obviously, to come up with a business plan and whatnot. And I don't have children, but I often have like the radio on. I'm watching the news and listening to people that do have children, and it just seems to be this front and foremost issue, and a lot of confusion about what's going to happen in the fall. Anyways, the people are talking about it, and I don't know what people's plan is locally. Um, that's going to be something returning or keeping a lot of people from returning to work. Correct? Okay. And potentially there's already some people in the community that know I'm not going back to work anytime. I'm not going to be going back to work in the fall. And they're going to be setting themselves up to take care of their children instead. Maybe take care of a neighbor's child, friend's child. I don't know. That's what I'm imagining how how people are organizing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on the right track? Sarah, maybe I'd love to get your experience with this conversation and what your concerns are going into the fall.
We're in kind of a unique situation because of COVID and the restrictions that we have on sort of bubbling.
Yeah.
So in the fall, we've got, there are sort of three potential scenarios for school starting up again. And we're not going to find out until mid-August what's happening.
Right.
So there will be maybe 2 weeks, possibly 3, to pull stuff together. So just be aware of that timeline. So schools are either, not going to open at all, they're entirely distant, and that depends on if we see a resurgence of COVID cases between now and then. They will open full time and just throw caution to the wind and have full time for until we can't, or going back part time.
Mm-hmm.
That would have sort of big split, and group A would attend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 week, and then they do 3 days 1 week, 2 days the next week instead of alternating. Or that they'd be doing like group A goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the sanitizing day, Thursday, Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means, and it's all very much up in the air. That means that on those off days, that if parents are returning to work, they're going to care for their school-age children. I don't quite know what schools are going to be putting in place, if they will be putting in place any programs, because legally, every school, if there is a need, every school has to offer before and after school care and PD day care and so on. Again, this is going to be up to the government to decide which plan is going to best suit, but that's not going to happen because they don't put money into child care at all.
Yeah. I was just going to say we're relying on Doug Ford for this.
Yeah.
So here's my thought, and I'm sort of taking a step back. Like, since I'm not someone with children, it doesn't really make sense for my voice to be in this conversation, right? What I'm wondering is if the 10-100 can somehow help organize parents that are struggling with even imagining maybe a solution to some of this, so we can provide you with the group of parents with a platform to meet and talk and problem solve. Like, would it be useful to have some sort of a network of people that can provide childcare? If I don't know, or an after-school program, could we organize something like that?
And this is sort of what James and I were chatting about yesterday. I sent him, as we were just typing. It depends. So my first question that wasn't quite clear: are you looking to make child care, like a child care solution for the 10-100 workers, or are you wanting it to be open to the broad community?
Both.
Oh, I was going to say, right at the moment, the 10-100 workers comprises of the entire people in this group chat, and maybe a few more on the periphery. So realistically, we're looking at especially if we're picking this up. Yeah, especially if we're picking. Yeah.
Sorry, James. I just want to throw in there that, like, considering that some cooperative models are like service for people that work there, like, they are creating the services. There's no reason why we can't open it up to other people that have the same needs, right? Yep. So while you might be like a caregiver or after school care provider and a parent that needs care when you're working your other job, right? Then maybe there's a different rate there for the member workers versus the larger community members or community clients.
Yeah, and I think we can definitely explore that when after Sarah has to go for her appointment.
Okay. I think the difference there being, like, again, if we're providing a platform, maybe this isn't a business idea right away, but an opportunity to use the platform, to use the, the weekly meeting that we've set up to empower parents to meet together and come up with a collective solution, if there is one to be made, or some sort of need that needs to be filled in the next 2-3 months, right? And it's not about necessarily we're starting a business right now. We are just social organizing, and maybe our parents, there's lots of parents out there, maybe the parents are the group, the initial group that we build the additional services off of. So we start with childcare because yes, the provincial government is not doing anything about it soon, but if we compile our resources together, we can do something as a collective. Later on, if we want to have, I don't know, maybe at the child care space, we also want to have kitchen facilities so that families can cook together or have a break while their child is being looked after. Something to that extent. Sorry.
We could move it to the place where we get like something like a community kitchen, a community resource center as well. This is big picture thinking.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
that's big picture.
Yeah.
But yes, let's ignore that.
Okay.
The idea that I'm trying to get at is that we have to define our community, I think, first. And if our community is going to be parents, then we need more parents in on this conversation, contributing exactly what their needs are, telling us exactly what their needs are.
Well, and a co-op is built out of a need. It's built to fill a need. It's not that you put the co-op together and then try to find needs to fit within that. So, yeah, who do we know right now who needs childcare?
Childcare?
Because, if we're looking at building, I know.
And
if you're looking, sorry?
Oh, just sorry. Yeah. I was going to springboard off your idea, but I don't think I'm going to add anything to the conversation. So go ahead.
Well, and all I was going to say is that the model of childcare, the shared childcare, what that would look like is going to depend entirely on the demographic that you have, the people who need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you first need to pull together people who need childcare. You need to figure out how many kids there are, what their ages are, and what the parents' schedules are.
Yeah.
Figure out what's affordable for them, where they work, what their schedules are like, what their availability is for trading off childcare. Now, here's the thing, James. So, and this, I'm just pulling this in as an example for you, that if we were looking at doing like a shared childcare model, where basically according to work schedules, parents would take turns watching each other's kids in their home, this would essentially be the only way to get around the licensing. That it would just be like each co-op member is providing an occasional babysitting service on it.
Right, yeah.
So how would you feel then, James, that on your days off, having 5 or 6 kids in your home from 7 in the morning to 7 at night? And
and there would be a cap at 5 or 6.
It depends on the ages, but potentially, like with your own kids and with Shema not counting in those numbers, you could potentially have 6 kids for 12 hours on any given day. To care for and to feed, to entertain, you'd have to provide sleeping spaces for the younger ones. You would have to have so much time outside, inside, all of that. So how would you feel about doing that, once or twice a week?
I was going to say like once a week.
Right?
Well, and that's sort of, so we would have to, we can explore that possibility because that might be an option for some people. Like I could, if I were in, if this was organized, and this was my way of sort of getting like, by providing 1 day a week, looking after other people's kids, the other 7 days a week, on days when I need respite or I need to be able to focus on work or what I'm trying to do. Other people will be looking after my kids. then
And that's what a shared child
yeah.
parenting is. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
take turns.
okay.
But if you're not able to provide care for other people's kids, then you can't be part of a shared child care network.
No. You'd have to pay for it.
That's not.
No,
You have to pay for it.
Okay, yeah. Would that be an option? Would that be an option where, in lieu of looking after kids as part of the network, you could offer to put a to pay to be a part of the network and just have you.
Okay, but here's the thing, because then that would really limit the number of spaces that other people who can't afford it,
Yeah.
other people that this child care arrangement was created for that affordable, trading off on child care, not having to pay. Instead, you're providing a service 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
In lieu of paying that $35 a day per child.
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's a way of going about it where it's we can provide both options. You know what I mean? Provide
So
for.
this is the thing. This is the thing. Again, it's going to depend on how many parents have a need,
Yeah.
and how many of those parents are able and willing to provide that care on a consistent basis. Do they know what they're getting into?
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah,
early childhood people who are qualified, people who are trained, will not do home child care because it's ridiculous. You are on for 12 hours straight sometimes, 10 to 12 hours. You cannot ever leave them unsupervised, but you're the one who's doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, and then after they go, you're sanitizing, because remember, we're in COVID time, so you have to sanitize the whole house and be ready for the next day. Yeah.
Bringing this back to the idea, I'm going to throw a potential idea out there where we try to organize this less as a cooperative service and but more as a business. What if we put out there that the people who are providing the childcare will be compensated for their time with the living wage? Doing I know talking about the $35 a child for the day sort of thing, because that's one model that is out there. Do we want to explore that, or the classic model where people are like, I need childcare, I'm going to look up the phone book and look for a childcare agency or something, and call them up and see if there's availability? Do we want to create a network where people can just be like, look us up online and say, oh, the childcare worker union has space available in my area, I just need to contact them. They contact us and we connect them with a home care person in their neighborhood. And then it's like a flat fee of I don't know, say.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to act as like an agency, a networking agency for unlicensed home child care providers, you are liable. What's your insurance going to be like? You are
Right.
liable
Here,
for
can I-
anything that goes wrong in any of those houses.
Right.
Can I just throw something out for us, James? I think we're jumping way too far ahead with already envisioning how to monetize something, identifying the service before we go and talk to people, or identifying the product
That's
before
fair.
we've even established our community. So
That's fair.
I think we need those 100 people's input on some demographic information, some things needs that they're not quite able to meet locally, or get that sort of sense, and
Okay.
then we'll know where to sort of focus in on and start organizing, right?
Yep.
And if we don't have the buy-in from those people that are, well, workers, but also clients of the service, right from the get-go, it's going to be really hard to get their buy-in up here when we're like brick and mortar, right? Or have trained people, or
Yeah.
yeah.
And I completely agree with that, Lauren, sorry, that you have to figure out who your demographic is, if there's a need, and what the need is, because needs in this area for childcare are so diverse. And James, I understand that for you, you personally, childcare is an issue right now, but I think, you know, that pressure that your family is feeling can't be the driving force for this.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Hold on, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
That's also okay, that we're all going to have different driving forces behind us. I'm trying to identify my own as well. Like my automatic instinct was food. We need more local food solutions. Everyone's got to eat, right? And then also the job part, helping to create these jobs. But these are all benefits of the cooperative at large, right? Like, I think we're still going to be able to see the benefit that we individually want to see in the long term. Sorry, Sarah.
What it is. And I would be happy to help you design, say, a survey that we put out, figuring out, you know, some target questions, just to help us identify, like, what is your need? What is your work schedule? Do you have childcare arranged for the fall, or backup arrangements, for example?
Yeah.
You know, do you have backup arrangements for, you know, maybe there are a lot of parents who have steady childcare, but no backup care. So if their kids are sick one day, what are they going to do? They can't send them to the center. Especially with COVID stuff. It's just and I can't tell you how many families will dose their sick kids with Tylenol or Advil in the morning, send them to daycare. By noon, it's worn off. They're clearly sick. They're heated. They're unwell. But by that time, you know, you call the parents to come and pick them up, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, not available," or "Yeah, I'll be right there," and then, you know, they're going to show up until 5 p.m. So there are diverse needs, and some needs that you may not even think about. It's not just, you know, regular Monday to Friday childcare that some people need. So figuring out a survey with some really specific target questions. Also, within that, we can put, would you be interested in providing regular care in your home for children, you know, 1 or 2 days a week, based on a need. And then within that, you know, are you willing to obtain a police records check, a vulnerable records check, obtain your CPR first aid, and basically keep your home open to families coming and going.
It's a lot to imagine. Yeah.
But
even not having kids, and can't imagine.
But if we can organize it and just like be clear, like if you can meet this criteria, you can be a part of this member group. You know, you can be part of our network. And not only will you have a generally clean house, you know, as a benefit, you'll also have, you know, kids looked after at times when you need it. You'll like the idea of being able to have a network of people that we can call up and say, hey, I need someone to look after my kids, you know, who's available, you know, or whose day is it, right?
But if you're doing that in any sort of business capacity, if you are approaching that as being, you know, we are the 10100, we are a registered organization, and here's our list of recommended child care providers, even if they're not, well, especially if they're not licensed, they're, seasonal babysitters. How are you going to handle the liability insurance for that?
Yeah, so with the union, and this is part of what we were talking about on Sunday as well, is like if we were to ask the members, now this was thinking about it through a little bit of a different lens, not thinking about it in terms of members looking after each other's kids, but more like connecting with people who are going to be doing childcare anyways in the fall and stuff, and bringing them together under an umbrella where we could collectively buy the supplies, bulk purchase, supplies for cleaning, for and having a license under, like a single operating license under which we would all operate, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like that.
I didn't know what Sarah.
Sorry, Lauren?
I think Sarah's addressed the larger issue, though, of the insurance and whether or not people are going to actually want to do that work, right? Like to, and the liability. It would require a lot more conversation with to understand where people are at and what they need.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about those survey questions before you have to run, Sarah. I just wanted to get a list of what you would recommend as far as survey questions go, because then Lauren and I can get into the weeds a little bit and flush them out.
I can brainstorm that because that's going to require a little bit of thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's really layered. There's a lot. But I would be happy to work on that later today, like after my appointment, and then send that off or post it in the.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, excellent. It's 10:40 now. Do we want to take do you want to take a break while you get ready for your appointment, and maybe we'll come back at, say, after lunch? Does that work for people, or what time works best for you?
Oh, I can't do this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if Sarah, if we left that with you, you'd want at least a couple hours, if not more. Do you want to just maybe send it to James?
Well, I've created a shared document in the group chat, so that everybody who clicks on that link should have access to it. I'm going to send it to everybody's messenger as well, so we'll all have access to it. And sorry, say again?
Is it a Google Doc?
It is a Google document.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
And
I can't. Oh, I gotta open it with my email. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just looking for the right window. I've got like 15 windows up. Here we go.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just making sure that it.
So that's to Lauren, and here's to Sarah, and Laura too, just for good measure.
Awesome. Got it.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So if I just can
I can.
What?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I can add to that and just sort of do like a free form brainstorming right into that doc, and then things come to mind. I'll just ping or home, and you guys can like question what it might mean, or we'll sort of check out.
Yeah. So I think, like, each time that we meet, I'm sort of discovering or teaching myself how to sort of, community organize, right? So this is just something I want to highlight here. Meeting with Sarah, specifically about the parenting thing, and having her define some questions that might help flush out interest. that is something that we can do in each of these, as we're trying to say, organize each community, right? With something like the gardening, we should be reaching out to people that are
Yes.
actually able to garden or need the food or have other community groups that are involved in it, right? And same with the parenting and whatever other basic needs or community concerns we want to address.
Have
I like
you
that.
have you guys the gardening? Have you talked to Thomas Dean, who runs the food forest?
No, I do know him. I haven't talked to him yet about that.
I
know, like,
I interviewed him for something way back, but
yeah.
a really cool guy and tons of experience. So he'd be a really good, not partner, but sounding board even.
Oh yeah, and just to have like his knowledge to draw on. That's the kind of a vision that I have for urban gardening. Is like a network of wisdom sharing almost, right? But then also pairing people that don't have property to grow, that have garden skills or need the food, with a neighbor or like a network of sorts like that. So Thomas Dean, and he's the CMHA food forest guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also the one who's doing the Healing and Reconciliation Garden in Tulsa.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what's his name?
Yeah, so he's like a landscape designer. He was an aerospace engineer before he retired. Yeah. So dude is smart.
Is he Indigenous?
Sorry? No, he's not.
Oh.
He's not.
Okay.
He is really immersed in Indigenous culture and healing culture in general, and traditional practices, and so that's one of his fortes, is creating those healing spaces, not just pretty gardens, nice landscaping, but something that has that spiritual side to it as well.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll have to reach out to him. I know he works closely with Teresa Pearson at the community garden down there by the church. Yeah.
Wait,
because the labyrinth is right there, and then the church plots, the community plots. That is Teresa Pearson with the CMHA that does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We have the beginnings of our composting network here, I'm
gardening.
sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring them on when we're focusing a conversation on food and sustainability.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So if we send out this survey, then we should be able to see who's interested in getting in on the conversation or has some energy to contribute. Yeah.
And we can, once we've got something compiled, we can send it out to like the various local groups that we're all a part of, on the Facebook world. So hopefully we can get some feedback and get people to spread it around as well, saying, hey, we're some people who really want to we got this idea. We'll have to figure out how to package it in like 2 sentences. This is exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get together next Monday, I guess.
Yeah.
James?
Absolutely. We got
so
3
much,
minutes
Sarah.
left. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the survey stuff. Lauren, I don't know if you're around to maybe to work on that, or if you're off. Because I think we interrupted your walk outside, didn't we?
Oh, I was about to run out for coffee, and I'm gonna go after.
Coffee. Mm.
I totally forgot. Forgot about the timing, and then yeah, halfway down.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't confirm last night. I found out the news about Michael Brooks yesterday afternoon, and it just kind of put me in a
I
little bit
don't
of
know
a
who that is.
tailspin. He was a leftist content producer. He was like 37, and
Oh wow.
he just dropped dead from healthcare or health complications, and he was producing content on the weekend. So
Oh wow.
I don't know what it was, but I'm thinking it must have been something like a heart attack or like a brain aneurysm or something that just takes
Yeah.
somebody out like that because he was alive and kicking on the weekend, you know. Anyway, but so that was it. He inspired me to start doing this. You know, to start putting this stuff up to YouTube in the hopes that maybe someday somebody will find our struggles to organize useful. Um,
Yeah.
and watching how we're doing it, so maybe they don't have to reinvent the wheel, or they can just like enjoy watching us grow and evolve. Because I feel like every time I have conversations that are greater than just or more than just um, me saying, "Hey, I've got this idea. What do you guys think?" And people are going like, "Yeah, well, this is what I think." I'm going like, "Oh, that's brilliant! I never even thought of that." You know, this is joy to me, and so thank you guys for being a part of this. The
Thank you.
conversation, yeah,
I know. All right.
it
So
is
I'm
good.
going to plug away at that today. It might be done in bits and pieces. I've got a few things going on, but
So,
yeah, I'll just keep adding to it as things come along.
all right,
Sounds good. That's the way it should come about.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go re-listen to this then. We've got less than a minute, so has anyone reminded you guys that you're awesome yet today? Because you're awesome.
No, that's it's awesome to hear that. You're awesome too, James.
I will take it. Um, so we'll see you guys definitely, hopefully next Monday, if everyone's available, and I'll probably see and talk to people online. And if you watched this as a stranger on the internet, hello and welcome and goodbye. Don't forget that you too are awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.